Sucker for punishment, I hear you say. Well, yes, that's because I'm having another go at wire inlay. To make it a little bit more difficult, I've decided to make a clock. Yes, and it's bigger as well. And I'm going to make it with a nice bit of sapele, and hopefully it's going to be a little bit easier because the lines are a little bit easier. Now, I did try and sneak one in to see if it would work out all right. I don't know why I did it, but I tried to do it with segmented timber. Instead of using a normal solid piece of timber, I thought I'd go one better and try and run before I walk, and that's what happens. Whether it's the weak timber against a stronger timber, and also that one I've tried chiseling like the last ones, and of course every time I chiseled it, it just snapped. I used some really nice glue too, and it just keeps snapping. If it doesn't snap on the joint, it actually snaps the timber in half. So that was the end of that. After I finished sobbing in a corner, I decided that I'm going to go bigger and better. Also, this time, I'm not going to chisel it. I'm not going to chisel out the numerals. What I'm going to do is I've brought a 1.5mm drill bit, and hopefully that won't snap. I can only take small passes through, and then this brass wire is 1.8mm, so it should be, in theory, a bit snug. But as always, it doesn't always work. I haven't started it yet. You'll be coming along with the process with me, and then you can see all the problems that I have, which there'll probably be many. Let's give it a go. To make sure I get this in the centre, I've marked the centre lines between 12, 6, 9 and 3, and I'll do the same with a piece of wood. Align them all together, and that should put that in the centre. So what I'm going to do, the same as last time, I'm going to use some carbon paper, stick that to there, cut out the same size as the paper, and then I can still see the marks, and then stick it down. I lined up the lines already marked on the timber and on the face of the clock, and I'm going to stick it together and make sure it doesn't move anywhere, or else we will be in trouble. And I don't think I'm going to put this mark that goes, the marks that go all the way around, I don't think I'm going to do those. All I want is a nice clean marking of the numerals, and then that's it. just like the one I did on my first attempt and failed miserably. I'm now going to mark, not with that or not. And now I'm going to mark the lines in the centre of all the numerals, and then hopefully that will come out onto the timber. Let's have a go. This is going to take a long old time, because when I'm transferring the marks over, although I try and finish at the edge of the lines of the actual numerals, it might be a little bit off. So to make it more accurate and more uniform, I go around with my compass to the bottom of it all, then I know to stop at that compass line, and then they're all going to be the same all the way around, rather than me guessing it. So if we do the one for the inside, one for the outside, then I've got my two lines to work to, and now I know they're going to look, when I put the copper wire in, they're going to look uniform all the way around. couple of things. One, I'm using blocks underneath to stop it sliding around because I couldn't really clamp it that well. Attachments to the tools. And also I'm finding that if I'm pushing away it's quite wobbly a bit, but I'm getting more stability when I'm pulling towards me, which is good, especially for my shaky hands anyway. I have to find the best way to get over what problems I've got. So that is the situation. I've gone a little bit deeper as well. I'm not quite sure how much this little router bit's going to handle, but these ones are the ones I've done already and then went back over them again. So I think I'm going to do that the same with these rather than push the limit of this little router piece. As you can see, I'm not quite sure what happened to that one. I think I coughed, but I don't know. Well, as you can see, the clock inspector's here again, checking out my workmanship, and he thinks I've got wobbly hands. I'm trying my best to make every piece of brass wire the same length so it doesn't show up too much, and then the idea is to keep it in between those two lines. And the way I've been doing them, get some of your finest thin CA glue, let my hands shake a bit, and then using a piece of wood and a tonking stick, which I brought from Maker Central when I went there the other weekend, and then you are. I've just sanded this with 80 grit and 120 just to see what it's going to look like. It's opened these Roman numerals nice because I used a whole piece of cable and didn't flatten it. The more you sand off to that center point, it's going to open up, it's going to be bigger. But you also don't see these bits here. You can't see these when you initially put the brass wire in. So now you've sanded halfway through, all the little holes appear. So I don't know whether to try and put some brass in there or some wood filler. I think what we're going to have to do is a little bit of a test of both. To save damaging the front as well as drilling underneath, I've got a nice bit of black felt to try and save the front whilst I work on the back. I've cut out the back for the clock mechanism and also given it a sanding of first 80, 120 then 240 grit, and it's come up really nice and smooth. And I'm going to try see what she looks like with this stuff. Crystal clear Rust-Oleum matte. Anyway, it's a matte finish, so give it a couple of coats of this and see what she looks like after. And then I can put the mechanism on. I've got black hands on there, so hopefully it'll show up a lot better on the front of the wood. Well, I can't spray with you there, can I? Come on. This isn't helping. Well, this is it finished, hung on the wall. We have noticed that the minute hand is actually too long, and the other, so I'm going to shorten both so it looks more in proportion. But apart from that, quite happy. First one anyway, but there's probably going to be more, maybe for presents, so hopefully I should get better as I go on. Like anything, it's a learning process. Hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a like or subscribe if you want. Until the next one. Cheers.